Taurus, sun, moon, and rising sign. You've got some big changes coming up in the month of November. Thank you to Mars as he moves through a place in your sky that can really shift your relationship to where you live, your home, and what you do in and from the home. There's also a moon that's going to surprise you, but in a positive way, coming up in the month of November. And ultimately, a lot of what November offers you, thank you to Venus, the Lord of your sign, is a glow up in financial matters, especially those monies that you don't earn and the monies that you owe. Those debts and indebted stories can have a positive turnaround, including, yes, your mortgage and credit cards. So we're going to talk about all of that for you in this month of November. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Laura E. Lothian, and I am using the Western tropical zodiac in the whole sign houses. Fixed stars and minor asteroids are my specialty. In our video today, we'll be talking about the blow by blow, day by day, week by week events, as well as what the major planets are doing in terms of changing signs and what that means in your story. Remember, astrology is a navigational tool to help you time your best life. It is not telling you what will happen, but how you can flow with what is happening. Now, Taurus, I want to say for the first thing I'm going to do is talk about myself. I have a special on now, and that is my 2025 videos, horoscopes. And each one is for 2 hours long, up to 2 hours long for each sign of the zodiac. And those are sold separately as a fundraiser, and they're now available through to mid-November. They'll be delivered in your inbox November 17th. If you want to get the pre-sale price, buy it now. And there's a PDF guidebook that goes with it. And in the description box below, you'll figure out everything you need to know about getting your all signs bundle, buy the whole package for 24 hours of video, audio content, or just buy your sign. And that helps grow my channel. I raise money every year using this sale. It never goes on YouTube, this content. It's so I have ring lights and digital products and laptops at work. This one's very old. I need a new one to record the videos for you. Hire assistants who timestamp my content and help me with other things in my astrology world. So if you want to help my channel grow, my business grow here on YouTube, then please go ahead and buy my yearly fundraiser for yourself. Probably wondering why I see a little spacey. It's been a day. I'm recording on October 17th for my Patreon community. You guys get this afterward. So think about early access ad free and join me there too. Taurus, sun, moon, and rising. You've been through a lot. You've been through a lot. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to show you the sky shortly. But you have that, Uranus Algol Mars conjunction on July 15th that could have been rocking your world, especially you. Taurus is, sun, moon, and rising in the last 10 degrees of Taurus. And we're listening for your sun about career and purpose, your moon about home matters and also body and sometimes mind. But your ascendant is your body, mind, and character, and it represents most accurately everything about you. But certainly listen for all three signs, because I usually find I get something out of listening to sun, moon, and rising. So we're listening to this today, and we're talking about you. And I will mention that you had this kind of shake up of Uranus in the sign of you ever since. You don't like it necessarily, your fixed sign, but ever since 2018. And just on July 15th, Uranus and Mars came together at around 25 degrees of Taurus and really intensified things for you guys. And that's a story that lasts 2 years. You might want to watch my video on the 2-year delineation of that conjunction. But even so, as we move into the month of November, and this month is starting out, you begin to feel some sea changes. The energy is not the same. Most importantly, is what's really not the same is Mars moving into your 4th house on November the 4th. This is your home and your land and your property. And Mars is the god of cutting and ending and severing. And quite often, other than traveling quite a distance away from your home to separate from it, a lot of times a normal Mars transit through the 4th house is to vacate the home, to leave the home, to sell the home. Now, that happens every 2 years and it lasts for 6 weeks, but this is a bit exceptional. Mars is going to be here from November the 4th through to January the 4th because of a retrogradation. If your Taurus sun, moon, or rising is anywhere in the first 10 degrees of Taurus, you feel this first and most, because Mars only makes it till the 6th degree of Leo before he retrogrades on December 6th. But nonetheless, all of you still feel this impetus to change your home. Sometimes you want to change it inside out, like construction and building. Otherwise, you're changing your home. It's very literal. You're changing your home somehow. So there's a change of domicile or home or where you live, likely coming through the sky, and also the potential for in November the 4th, all the way through, by the way, till January, but also potential for inheritances or unexpected chunky money. Now, the reason I say that is because Venus, the goddess of money and lucky good things, is moving through your 8th house, which can be bank loans, mortgages, inheritances, things to do with shared resources with a business partner or spouse, and stock investments, etc. Now, Venus will be moving on and through the 8th house as this month begins of November through to November the 11th. And as she's there through to the 11th of November, and Mars from the 4th is in your 4th house, she's in your 8th house. That means between the 4th and the 11th of November, you have superior fortunes and luck regarding land, property, and real estate matters or chunky money, including inheritances. And Mars is in the house of legacy wealth. Pluto is in the house of father figures, indicating a possibility of an inheritance from a father figure for some of you in this month of November. Pluto will leave your 9th house of father figures on November the brain, come back online, the 19th, right? But while he's still up there, this is a story for some of you Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising people. But I see mostly it's a change of home that wants to happen, or a change within the home that's quite significant. Very big changes want to happen here. And don't forget, Mars will be back here again next April, May, because the retrogradation delays him from finishing his journey through your 4th house. So there's a lot going on with home, land, property, real estate changes for most Taurians. What about Venus when she's not in Sagittarius after the 11th? Where does she go? She moves into your 9th house of good spirit of God. And there is a time when she's in that part of your sky that quite often people go on enjoyable trips abroad. They have lucky breaks in book publishing deals. They have things go on really swell with their academic and higher educational learning environments. So that journey of Venus through your Capricorn sky begins on the 11th of November and will complete its journey through the foreign land travel part of your chart all the way through until December 7th. Now, sometimes it doesn't have to be foreign lands per se. It could be just far off journeys to places that feel foreign to you, but it is like longer, more exotic journeys abroad, for example. She's a benefic in a house of courts, judges, and legal outcomes. That could indicate a potential, especially that with the sun traveling through Scorpio in legal contract deals, there could be a window of time coming through the sky in November where you find yourself in possession of positive legal matters and resolutions around legal problems, and that could look good on you as well. Again, November the 11th to December the 7th, when Venus is traveling in Capricorn, you Tauruses feel better. You know, she's flowing to your Taurus identity, your sun and moon. You're just feeling more inspired, hopeful, trusting the universe has your back. You just have a nice vibe, a glow up here. And you could fall for a new love story with somebody you meet in a spiritual community or who lives in a far off place who's foreign to where you are living during November 11th to December 7th, including travel for romantic getaways with the one you're with or with somebody you wish to get to know, if you know what I mean. All right. Mercury, the messenger of the gods. Well, that little guy is going to stick his ass into Sagittarius and get stuck there, like literally stuck there for forever. So he's going to slide into Sagittarius November the 2nd, and he's going to stay there through till January the 8th. And the reason is a retrograde is happening here in a way we haven't seen since the elemental fire year for Mercury of 2017. This reiterates some things that happened in your life in the fall of 2017. He's going to move through the sign of Sagittarius, which is your 8th house, and that involves money that you do not earn. Now, there's a lot of phone calls, emails, text messages, negotiations, and conversations around mortgages, inheritances, bank loans, credit cards, stock investments, taxes, things like that. There's a lot of ideas, negotiations, and mental activity here for you for a long time, guys. Get ready for that November 2nd. Goodness gracious, that's long, right? Through to January 8th. He will retrograde on the 26th of November, indicating a revising, a revisioning, a rethinking of some of the matters of the eighth house, right? Going back and repondering it, rethinking it, maybe also money from your past returning to you, or negotiations around money from the past coming back. But we'll cover that when we get to the deep dive retrograde video storyline. There's a whole video that will come out on my channel for each sign about this very not since 2017 type of retrograde in Sag. When Venus is here with Mercury, and they'll be together for a very short time. So really take this in. Please write this down if you need to. They'll be together in the sign of your eighth house of chunky money, holding the space together, not conjunct, but holding the space together between November the 2nd and the 11th. That gives you 9 days of superior luck regarding stocks, buying and selling real estate, inheritance monies, closing out of debts, finalizing like mortgages and debts and stuff like that, eliminating them, relieving yourself of them. South Node in the house of service of debts means an end or letting go of debt that you owe. So a lot of you could pay off those debts, especially credit cards or mortgage debts, etc. And especially with Venus's help, November the 2nd through to the 11th. So keep that in mind. Now we're going to break the sky down itty bitty bits all through the month. And I'm going to show you the chart. And then I'm going to ask you to get a pen or a paper to write it down, because I don't think otherwise it's any use to you. Don't forget, it's a navigational tool to time your best life so that we can actually use it proactively, swim with the current, not against it, move in the flow of life as it's happening. That's, I hope, what you can get from this. And here we have the sky for you, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Risings. You can get the lay of the land. There's that Uranus retrograde on Algol. Oh, yes, it's intense, especially if your Sun, Moon, and Rising is near 24 to 27 degrees of Taurus. You've got a lot of algal activation, the star upon which Uranus is zigzagging over. You can lose your head. Be careful. Now, Tauruses. What we have going on here in the month ahead is at the beginning of the month, there's a lot of intensity. The first 3 days are particularly gnarly. Mars will be at the 29th degree of your third house, and he will be in his opposition to Pluto up here. There may be a very big critical blowout regarding a legal and court matter in the first 3 days of November. Mars is the god of lawsuits, and Pluto's in the house of courts, major lawsuits, courts, negotiation, tension, whatever, regarding things to do with siblings, father figures, neighbors, neighborhood, travel, local environment, things in your local environment, brick and mortar or online businesses, and tension is in the sky. Boom, big energy for you. Now that only lasts for the first 3 days of November, but it is important that you know that it's going to be there. You could have a blowout with a neighbor, with a professor, with a spiritual teacher, with a guide, with someone, aunt, uncle, cousin, sibling. Just watch the energy field there. It's intense for the first 3 days. And even though that intensity is happening, we also at this very same time have a water trine forming in the sky, which is positive, grand water trine, where Mars in Scorpio will be flowing from your 7th house of legal contracts, negotiations, and significant love relationships to Mars, who's moving at that point still through Cancer, your 3rd house, flowing to Neptune in your 11th. These are relational houses, karma houses. You may have some major activity going on with a significant love relationship and an opportunity for journeys or travel. You may have something going on with a sibling, elder or younger, and some opportunities for legal contracts and negotiations to finalize. You may have a lot of stuff going on here. Don't forget, Mars is the god of lawsuits. And so with the trine to the 7th, you might be able to negotiate a final solution to a legal matter as well in the first 3 days of November. And, Saturn and Neptune, they're both up there in your 11th house of good spirit, where good karmic rewards come. So you may find that even with the intensity of the first 3 days of November, you come out winning, you come out on top. There is a new moon at the same time on November the 1st, and it happens to occur at Scorpio 9 degrees right over here. The sun and the moon will join together on the November 1st, new beginning. A lot of you, if you're single, Taurus, sun, moon, and rising will begin new love stories in the not just the 2 weeks that follow the new moon, but the 6 months that follow. Those of you already in existing love relationships, rebuild it and re-begin it and give it a new, fresh start of some kind. And some of you will have fresh starts in love because you and your love partner are moving. That Mars position indicates new beginnings because of relocations, for example. And there's a new flourishing possible with you and your long-term lover or relationship. On November 3rd to the 6th, there is a Sun trine Saturn. And of course, we see the Sun here and we see Saturn here as a part of that trine, but it becomes more tightly active as we move towards the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. And I like that a lot for you because I wonder if you're not going to find yourself feeling like you just got your handle, a hand or something on it anyway, something really strongly connected to what you're trying to accomplish in a relationship of some sort, like to stabilize a long-term relationship. Don't forget, Mercury was at the very end of Scorpio, flowing to dreamy Neptune, right? Like, what is our vision, our goal, our dream for a long-term love relationship? And now it's the Sun, and the Sun is like not dreamy. The Sun is like, this is the light of what we have here, like as a flashlight in your committed business and love relationships. And it flows back to this good house of good spirit where good things happen. Karmic rewards occur. Cosmic rewards are here. Stabilizing your long-term business and love relationships through beautiful energies, and maybe being able to rely on a friend or an elder sibling for some assistance in negotiating contracts or legal deals. That's also something that could happen November 3rd to the 5th. On November the 3rd to the 5th as well, Venus and Neptune get into a fight. Well, it's short-lived anyway. Here we go. They're squabbling over chunky money and resources and possessions and self-worth and self-value. It's like Jupiter retrograde wants to pull back and deepen your bounty on your money, your resources, your earnings, and your possessions. And Venus is offering some good luck in your chunky money shared resources house. And suddenly there's this difficult oppositional energy, and Venus is stronger here. I mean, Jupiter is in detriment, but Jupiter's telling her what to do. She's in his home. Could be something as simple as you could turn down a work opportunity because you have enough money in your inheritance, booty or bounty or whatever, because it's really about the hustle versus the money. Take the money and run is my advice. Okay. Some of you have an opportunity to hustle for some money, or to hustle for money connected to things in the past, or just take what's there already. Some bounty wants to be offered to you. You can take it. You can deserve it now. Why not? Watch around November the 9th or so for some kind of financial or love story playing out on November the 9th to do with the money you share with your marriage partner, your spouse, and Neptune, the god of illusion and delusion, that is now retrograde. So you're seeing more clearly things to do with, this can be about a secret revealed by a friend. November the 9th, Venus in your 8th house square retrograde Neptune, some clarity around a social group, a friend, hidden things, secrets, that kind of story. And it may be just a secret is revealed from a friend about something hidden. That's all. This also could be revolving around an elder sibling and revelations in their life, the one just older than you. Now, November the 12th, Mercury gets into a challenging conversation with Saturn, and that means that you're going to have some changes of, not necessarily changes, but eventually with the retrograde, you're going to have some kind of deals, negotiations, or communications around shared monies and resources connected to Saturn in your 11th house. Now, this could be about money and your earnings in your career space and some kind of renegotiation of deals in terms of the money. This can also be with Saturn up there with Neptune. Something to do with the way you have these visions and dreams and goals for your life, including your career and earning stories. And Mercury's coming up with ideas or negotiations or information, and honestly, Mercury here could be a tax situation that you need to address in order for you to have more ability to create the career gains that you wish to achieve. This could literally be a banking and accounting matter that's a little bit tense coming through your sky that needs some structure and some guidance and some assistance, especially the house of allies and benefactors. Someone could really help you square away your budget, your long range money stories, your financial matters from a friendly perspective, but in a demanding way. Like you got to look at this. You got to get your accounting and bookkeeping going. You got to figure out what the tax structures are here. You got to figure out how to, do the abacus of your money and figure out it all out. There's a real strong pull there. And that's going to be again, November the 12th. On November the 16th to the 19th, or 15th to the 19th even, there's a lot going on. All right. A lot of action going on here. We have a full moon in Taurus on the 15th at 24 degrees of the sign of Taurus, co-joined with Uranus. So there's surprises, and Taurus is you, and you are surprised, but you're the one carrying the Uranian energy, rebellion, freedom, invention, and breakthrough, cutting outside the line, busting outside, coloring outside the lines. You've got this, and you've got this freak flag. You can fly it. Woo. And then all of a sudden there's a full light there on that Taurus algal spot. Full moon on you. All moons are on you. What are you going to do with this? Lord Almighty, I don't know, but you're going to do something. The sun is being reflected from the house of your marriage and your business partnerships and alliances, and it's being reflected right back at you in the sign of you. Full moonlight is there. That sun and that moon are making a flow relationship to Uranus. It's called a wedge. To Uranus, to Neptune. It gives it a dreamy glow. I have to give you that. A full moon can show up 2 weeks after the moon of November 15th, or up to 6 months after. You're coming into a fulfillment of some of your longest range dreams and goals and cherished goals and dreams. And the light of your marriage and business partners is helping you do that. Okay. It's really good for new romance with somebody who is a dreamy soulmate, who is also a friend, or that you meet through friends, or you're introduced to through friends and groups of belonging. The other thing I'd mention about this time frame of the 15th to the 19th, of course, is that Mercury is opposite Jupiter. Now, the two of them are having an argument of some sort. Jupiter is in your second house of resources and will be till next June, planting golden eggs of financial prosperity there for you. Retrogradation indicates a deepening, a reflection on the bounty here, your self-worth, but also maybe money from the past that could return to you. And Jupiter is sitting in that second house, and Mercury's in the house of the chunky money. Remember, we had the Venus opposition to Jupiter November 3rd and 4th, then Mercury later on, right? On the, 16th to 19th, they may be individual stories, or they may be connected to each other. What kinds of conversations, legal deals, negotiations, contracts, signing on the dotted line is going on in your life regarding resources, earnings, possessions, and maybe land, property, real estate, or inheritances, or money from the sale of land, property, real estate as well. Those things are there. November the 15th to the 19th. On November the 20th, and on November 15th, Saturn goes direct. So anything that's been kind of delayed or rethought or revisioned or revised since June, to do with how you participate with your elder sibling, one above you, friends, allies, benefactors, groups of belonging, and friendship circles, being leaned up by the lean one, Saturn. Some friends have moved away or will be leaving. There is this feeling now of moving forward. This is like, keep your friends, there's a thing about this. Like Saturn says, keep the friends that are the long game friends, and so friends and groups of belonging that are going to last, go forward now as Saturn goes direct, but the career gains stabilize as well. And the visions and goals for your life take on new magical and realistic form, starting the 15th of November onward, right? On November the 21st to the 22nd, Mars will sextile Pluto. Mars has moved at this point. The sun will sextile Pluto. The sun has moved at this point into Sagittarius, and that is your house of chunky money. And Pluto is going to be in the 10th house of reputation and father figures. If you are doing inheritance, it's a consolidation of the inheritance to father figures. If it is about your career and reputation, it is about your career and reputation regarding matters of resources and finances that is opening a positive directional flow. November 20 to 21. And it's new, right? The sun is in Aquarius, the Pluto's in Aquarius, and the sun is in Sag. It's a new energy for you once a year for the next 20 years. So, how are you bringing your work and career and reputation, power and empowerment into longer range glow around resources, banks, mortgages, stocks, investments, retirement monies, all of that? You're seeing the first light of this new trend in the last 20 years. You're seeing it start to show you where it's going, basically. Okay. On November 21, 22. Also, November 21, 22, Venus is in Capricorn and she's flowing to Saturn in a sextile, who's, of course, still, but now direct in Pisces. Well, Venus in Capricorn is a boss babe, and she's got her big shoulder pads going, and she's in Capricorn in your 9th house, and she wants to talk to Saturn here. Really a good one for visas, passports, long distance foreign travel with a friend, ally, or benefactor, having fun, maybe journeying somewhere, but in a very kind of efficient mode, good for people in the book publishing industry, good for getting academic credentials, good for getting accepted at your favorite school academically, as colleges and campuses, good for final positive outcomes in legal and court matters that end in a happy way for all and include a sense of divine providence and cosmic reward. Courts and legal matters involve anything, including a dispensation of money in inheritances or separation in marriages. Those things go really well for you as well. Again, November 21 and 22. On November 26th and November 27th, Sun trines Mars. Now, Mars moving through that 4th house, right? Change of home, etc. Trining the Sun in your 7th house can indicate a really beautiful time for you and a significant other to travel away from home, to change or move your home. It can open up trine. I'm sorry. Forget it. Back it up. The sun has moved into your 8th house, November 26th, 27th. Getting a loan, buying a house, selling a house, receiving property monies because you managed to liquidate a house, sell a house, buy a house. It's good for money you and your spouse share. It's good for rental monies as well. Good things happening with rental monies, like getting a rental damage deposit back from a landlord if you're a tenant. Those things look good. Good for the trine between the sun and your 8th house, shining a light in the shared resources. Just good for money and home and financial matters, November 26th to the 27th. And Mars does rule your spouse. And so also good for spousal relationships and money shared together, November 26th to the 27th. We end the month on November 30th with the moon coming into a new moon at 9 degrees of Sagittarius. The 9 degrees of Sagittarius is a new beginning in your inheritances, shared resources, stock investments, mortgages, credit card debts, new beginnings, new moons in regards to your interest in occult mysteries, magic, tarot, astrology, and all the other occult or hidden mysteries that belong to the 8th house. New beginnings in the 8th house. It's an interesting house. It can represent new beginnings in your life that have to do with karmic new beginnings, planting a deeply karmic seed of something new in this part of your sky. And when this new moon is happening on November the 30th, we will see that we have a Sagittarius Mercury here. So this new moon is accompanied by new beginnings, but Mercury is a commerce god. So new commercial beginnings, some of you might experience here. Investments, stocks, investment structures, trust funds, ways to manage monies that you may have inherited or gotten through proceeds of a sale of a property, and some new beginnings in this part of your sky. You can get sexual intimacy in the 8th house, like tantric, sex magic, more emotional intimacy as well, and some new beginnings there. If that's something that's important to you, you will have Mercury there for more intimate communications with a love partner, etc. November 26th and November 27th. Mercury rules the house of fertility and pregnancy. It's not always this way, but it could indicate conception and the death of a family member, like for someone who's died in the past, coming through you or your partner as a new fertility conception. That's something that can happen with a new moon in the 6 months that follow the new moon in the 8th house, because it's attended by Mercury, the lord of the house of sexuality, romance, and pregnancy and conception. If you are not married or with someone, then this could bring a brand new relationship to you, but it will be kept maybe secret or low key, or not share it with your kids, the family, the world. You may wait 6 months to let anyone know about it. It may be a slow burn of some kind. All right. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and all those good things that help the channel grow. And check out my Patreon community. You would have gotten this video October 17th, early access ad free, but you got it later on and you got it with ads. And so if you want to check me out over there, I'd love to see you on my Patreon community. Wow. And I'm going to go for a walk. I'm recording, on the full moon of the 17th. It's a really beautiful moon for spiritual reasons. A good day to give money away to a homeless person or something. So I'm going out with 20 bucks in my wallet. I'm going to find someone to donate to and do some mantras. All right. Shreem, Gleam, Beam, Beam. Bye, Taurus. Have a wonderful November.